I'm here.
Yes.
Hey, the stream can hear us now at least.
All right.
Hello, stream.
Hello, stream.
Hi, stream.
This is Xerxes. We're running Fortune and Glory today. We're joined with our illustrious crew of Koji Stormscale, a Cavalier Fighter, Arkken Ironrunner, a Monster Slayer Ranger, Elaneiros, a Twilight Domain Cleric of Slim, a Arch Stonebeard, a Evocationist Wizard, and Patches, the little black cat sent by an angel to help Elaneiros on his mission, who is a divine soul sorcerer. They have just finished clearing out a cult compound and are leaving to go recuperate and plan for the next step. To recap shortly, they are in Sunset Hill in eastern Cormyr, investigating cult activity into a necromantic cult, what they're up to. They recently gathered some findings on this cult hideout and what they were doing, and well, they have questions. Where they go with those questions is up to them. Because our sessions happen so infrequently, a brief recap of their time in Sunset Hill involved a brief investigation, going around individually, talking to the townsfolk, which led them to this cult activity. They found also other talk about various activities in the nearby Holic Forest involving a blood cult and other dark dealings, banditry, and various monsters. They also heard about a political unrest vis-a-vis a political rally happening soon, where a lot of anti-human sentiment is being shared, largely driven by, from what, well, anybody can tell, seems to be elven in origin, but they're not exactly keeping out, excluding the other races, though there are no humans, and elves and dwarves are in short supply.
Short supply.
Mm-hmm. And so we pick up with the party leaving the compound that they had just finished looting.
I do have a quick question, by the way, for the GM.
Go ahead with the question.
It's basically just I want to make sure that I got everything off of Hope's Edge that we got last time. I have written down everything I remembered on it.
Okay.
I've written down that it's a +1 spirit for every consecutive hit. Increase the damage by 1d4. If it misses, the wielder takes 1 level of exhaustion and the damage buff resets. Was there anything other than that to it?
Okay. So Hope's Edge works on the concept of always riding the edge of failure. And if you are not pushing yourself to continually to fight, you will fall off that edge into exhaustion and failure. And that is the concept behind the weapon. If you are not taking action to engage the enemy or make an attack to an available target, you will gain that level of exhaustion in addition to missing.
Okay,
You
I will add
must
that to it.
push forward. You
I'm
must
adding that.
push forward.
That seems slightly problematic.
Mm-hmm. Because the point is, like, I believe the original verbiage that I read off to you, and I can pull it up to well, actually I can't. I don't have that shortcut. Oofies. I believe the original text I was reading off that was that if you did not attack or you missed an attack, you gained that level of exhaustion.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And that expands into what if there are no targets? Do you gain that level of exhaustion? And I'm putting a cushion saying you have to keep finding them. So, like in the Colt compound, there is no delay to investigate. Okay?
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Basically, we go in, we rush B.
Right. And from a standpoint, where you got Hope's Edge from was a giantess, priestess of Saloon, or not Saloon, Sylvanas, the god of the wild.
Yeah.
You have to be stalking. You have to be on the hunt. You have to be fighting.
How can you be on the hunt if you're not tracking?
Then you better learn. You better start. You better start walking. You better find targets. You're riding the edge of hope to failure.
I know. It was just a dumb
I
joke.
would like to remove the slightly from slightly problematic in my previous statement.
No, nobody said that all magic items are 100% free of problems.
I mean, I did, but I'm obviously wrong.
You said that all magic items are free of problems.
Mm-hmm.
How about that magic item you picked up back at the beginning of the game?
I don't see a
Rusty
problem. I now have access to a greater evil that I can use. I mean,
Evil.
uh-huh. Evil's a perspective, sir.
Mm-hmm. He's not incorrect, and I'm not
We're-
going
we're-
to fight him on that.
Look, we're all about tolerance, right? And accepting people as they are here.
Yep,
So why
yep,
do you
yep.
call him evil then?
Yeah, calling someone evil's very intolerant, like you're putting them in a box. What if they don't identify as evil?
At one point, somebody invented the word evil and defined it as something. Okay, evil.
Right, but we all know things don't matter what they are. It's how I feel about them.
Right.
My fifis. It's all about my fifis.
You're going to shoot me. It's going to be hilarious.
All right, guys. So we're in this dungeon. I believe we're exiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And of course, we sneak out all sneaky like.
Yeah, sorry. I'm beginning to understand that if I don't have on this particular computer with this headset, if I don't have Discord up, you don't hear me. So if I'm like looking at Roll20, you're not gonna hear me for some reason.
Oof.
So you're in this map. You're on your way out. I don't know if anybody said that they were leaving, but if you had time to think and thought, oh, I wanted to do one final thing, well, because I don't remember anybody saying that they left. Here we are. Anything you want to do, or are we out?
I think we've at this point done everything we could. We destroyed the
Okay.
fire. We got the Phoenix egg. We got the shackles.
Mm-hmm.
We talked to the giantess. We got some of her stuff. We left her with the clothes because that just seemed no.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not
Yeah.
undress her, shall we?
Are we going to be looking into the whole elves deal?
Yes, I think so. Oh yeah, and Arch drank the spicy Kool-Aid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On the way out, the cat is just gonna knock over some stuff. Because cat.
Burn down the place.
If that's what happens, that's what happens.
Oh my God, that's going to be so annoying. You weren't hearing me at all. Oh. Is there like a setting in Discord to like where if it's not up, you don't hear me? There has to.
I don't know.
I'm Googling the issue right now.
Thank you.
Just letting you know that I'm not just sitting in silence. I'm actually trying to help you.
But to continue on, you were talking about something, Nexus. You're saying about investigating something.
No, I was just asking the group if we were going to look into the whole deal with the elves, and how they've been treated.
That was the plan. We had that meeting we were supposed to go to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Meeting?
Yes, meeting.
Ugh, boring human stuff.
Actually,
Was it?
elven stuff.
Starting to sound mighty racist there, little cat creature.
Fine, humanoid stuff.
Appropriate, I suppose.
I need to build a box.
A box.
What for?
The egg.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Oh.
are you gonna try that Schrodinger thing?
No,
Swish,
because I'm
no.
well aware that the cat is alive, and even putting it in a box would not satiate my need for silence around it.
Who's Schrodinger?
The
Oh,
wizard from the south. He used to teleport dead cats into boxes for some reason.
Yep,
That just sounds like animal cruelty with extra steps.
yep.
I suppose it only really depends on how cruel it is when you killed the cat.
I don't even want to know how he did it.
It's the sanguination's always been my favorite.
Technically, Schrodinger's experiment involves a cat in a box, and then you put poison gas into it. And then you question, is it alive or now dead? And the question is, has enough time been passed at this point before the cat to have expired? And then the question is, the only way, and then the answer is, the only way to check, the only way to know is to check. But checking it sets the answer. And it's the quantum mechanic thought experiment, that the belief that by examining something, you set the outcome. That if you leave it unexamined, it could be either option.
I thought it was uranium.
It could be. I thought it was poison gas. Because it's
Either
just
way, a cat dies and it's a sad day.
I
Depends
thought
on
you
the
just
cat.
stabbed it.
I believe it had to be left to a vague situation. All of those direct methods are way too direct. And the vagueness is part of the thought experiment. You don't know until you check. Anyways, box for the egg. Arch, go.
When we get to
Boxes all
town,
around you.
no, when we get to town, I need to make one in a very specific way.
We're
I
already in
mean,
the middle of
I
town.
We are in
I
town.
Oh,
I'm
we've made
kind
it back
of
to
an
town.
Expert on boxes,
Well, technically, you were
so-
in town. You were just underneath it.
We were beneath the industrial district.
Yeah, like there are no people around here.
Well, it's
So,
nighttime in the warehouse district, yeah.
If you find some wood, you can probably just take it.
I mean,
So-
there's boxes everywhere around you in this place. Look at the map.
I'm
What I-
kind of an expert in boxes. I could find you a proper one.
Oh my word. So what Arch wants to do is to build a rectangular shaped box, right? He's going to fill it with sand,
Mhm.
and then he's going to attach it to a satchel so he can wear it, right? So he can safely put the very hot egg in the sand to
Mhm.
keep its heat in and to protect him from the heat and carry it with him. He's
Right.
also wants to go by a smithy and purchase the metal tongs that they use to like pick up a crucible and pour, so
Mhm.
that I can safely move the egg back and forth.
Okay.
So
Sure.
that's Arch's project for the evening when we get out of here. And then and the only other thing that's important to Arch right now is when we do pick a hotel, he wants a room with a fireplace, because while I know it won't cure the egg, I still think subjecting it to fire is a very good idea. It's kind of like staunching the wound. If not, I can't sew it up or cure his ills, but I can. Maybe that'll help it from getting worse.
Right.
Worst
It
case,
won't
we get a
hurt.
good breakfast.
We are not eating the phoenix.
I would hazard to say that cracking open the phoenix egg would be a devastatingly bad experience for everybody in the next 20 miles.
Potentially.
Hmm.
So we're carrying around.
By the way, for no reason related to that, I'm learning catapult.
So we're
Catapult?
so we're carrying around the fantasy equivalent of a nuclear warhead.
Yes, the
Yes.
birth of a phoenix is a fairly violent affair. As is the death of one.
Hey,
It's-
hey, Arch, what happens if that thing hatches when you carry it?
Well, let's just say we won't have to worry about anything.
Now I'm worrying more.
Maybe we should hold off on giving it any fire.
I mean,
That
at first, when you built it and then put sand in it, I was like, why are you making a cat litter box for me?
It will not hatch with the level of fire we have available to us. It needs to be in the elemental plane of fire, which is where I plan to send it as soon as I can figure out how to do so.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so everybody begins to leave.
Ye.
Let's get out of the industrial district. I've had enough of it for, well, a lifetime.
Okay, so I did that thing again where I switched over to Roll20. I started talking and nobody heard me. So you guys begin to leave and walk out of the area, out of the underground. And everybody give me a perception check on your way out.
Is
There's
Reginald still circling about?
Outside, but this perception check revolves around
Is before we
you
get
guys.
outside. It's on our way out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he cannot. Got it.
Elaneiros and Arch, you're aware of ones and zeros, it seems. Cyntari, if you're talking, the thing is happening again.
I know. I'm actually deliberately on another page pulling something up, and I'm not trying to talk. Thank you. 1 second.
Two very perceptive people. And then one also kind of a lot perceptive.
I'm average.
Yes, and I am less than ever.
I've been hanging out with my hawk familiar going, okay, teach me how to
Teach me how to
see.
see. First, you use your eyes. Oh my
Oh,
God,
yes.
no.
Can you
What?
see?
So here's what you do. You put down the book.
Wait. There's a
What?
world out
Instructions
there?
unclear.
Write them down on paper so I can read them.
Instructions unclear. Dick stuck in ceiling fan.
Yeah, just a second. Okay. So
That is
this,
impressive, though.
This happens in kind of a. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So you're just choosing to talk
Yes.
over me, Nari. I
So-
gotcha.
Yes.
Maybe.
So as
No, it's
you
a bitch.
Good damn it. All right. Anybody else? I'm talking. Don't interrupt me.
What's up?
There we go. So on your way out, that's kind of like a 1-2 thing where like Elanero like stops, like, wait, what's that?
And
And
Art
what
sees
is
it
it?
too.
And Art sees it too. And this is more of me making up for something because I forgot a detail on my own map that I did not exercise on earlier stages, and I'm making up for it with this roll. And so on your way out, you're like, huh, wait, what's that? That looks odd. Definitely noticeable by Arch, but Ellen notices a trigger mechanism, and Arch notices that there's a seam there.
Hold.
That's not right.
What do you want me to hold? I don't
Just-
have thumbs.
Stand still.
Just stand still, so we don't all die. That was that there when we came in.
I don't believe so.
You guys did roll like natural 20, so like you can always just accept that you guys never noticed it until just now.
Well,
Yes, sir.
the point of that is like, was it always here and we just didn't trip it the 1st
Mhm.
time, or did somebody set
No,
this
no trigger
up?
mechanism. It's like a wall trigger, like a push plate, like a
Oh,
thing, like a trigger. Sorry,
there's
I use
there's a
words
door
that make
here.
sense to me, and
Got
they
it.
don't make sense to other people sometimes.
Yeah, there's a door here. If only there was a way to get in.
I mean, there's a pressure plate here. Well,
Oh.
a pressure thing.
Well then apply pressure to it, please.
I really hope this doesn't blow up in our faces. But here goes.
Like-
That's a
to
good
do it?
point. Cat, you push it then.
Meow.
Elo already pressed it.
Apparently the wall took objection to that because I just saw the initiative track for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was like,
Cat
what the hell you
I
do?
was going through the new UI buttons trying to find what I'm looking for. They moved the layers all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, they did. It sucks.
Are we supposed to
Sure.
see a different map than the world map?
Yes. The answer is yes. Over there. Okay.
Oh, the small room with the chest.
Oh, fancy.
So yeah, Cat is gonna use Mage Hands to click.
So I was talking and I didn't have Discord up because I'm trying to show you something on the map at the same time I'm saying something, and this is really pissing me off. So on the way out, you walk by that hallway, you notice that down that wall, you're like, hey, wait, what? That looks odd. And that's the wall you noticed. I revealed that small little room with the chest, and that's when you triggered it, that's what was revealed. It's getting very annoying trying to talk to you when I'm on a different screen. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what you notice.
Huh.
Oh.
Should we like, can we detect magic on this? Arch?
It'll take me a few minutes.
I mean, we're in no rush right now, so go ahead. Also,
I will-
judging from all the bodies lying around here, I think we were busy when we got here.
Yep. So
Just a little bit.
I will sit down and ritual cast detect magic because I can only cast it ritually today.
That is perfectly
well.
fine.
I mean, I could do it.
That's
if
fine.
you want to be quick
This will
about
save
it.
you a spell slot.
No, it's not a spell slot. It's an innate thing I do.
I've already sat down and started doing it.
Yep.
As soon as
Now
you said,
should actually just do it.
so as soon as you said, "Can you do this?" I sat down and started. I've stopped paying attention to anything else.
His eyes roll
It's
back into
fine.
his head, and he's like meditating, and symbols are appearing in the air around him. He's hearing voices.
Chicken go cluck cluck,
Oh.
cow go moo.
Arch,
Ela, you
you're
should
supposed
just
to
do
cast
it now.
detect magic, not Kama Sutra.
Ela,
What?
just do the thing.
So what are you doing, Ayla?
No, I'm just waiting.
Oh, you're not going to use Firebolt magic? Or let him do his thing?
Yeah.
everybody sits around and just stares at Arch while they.
Yeah. It was
There's the
just an
details,
offer.
just in case you need it.
It would be rude of Ela to intervene.
Would be faster though.
Yes, but we're not in a rush.
Mm.
So there appears to be some sort of small magic items inside the chest, small items of some kind inside.
Mhm.
We're not going to determine the auras of them until we roll them.
All right. As soon as
we-
it's done, and I see just that, I'll walk up and open the chest.
Yeah,
Did
sorry,
we
this is like
check for-
something that's been on my map. I just like as you walked by it, I just like forgot to have you roll for detecting this thing.
When we got here, we almost immediately started fighting things, so it makes sense.
I barely had time to stop and
Mhm.
take a drink.
That's true. So
If
you're saying
only
you're
I
opening it,
hadn't knocked
Arch?
that thing
Yes.
down for you.
Okay.
I don't think he's checking for those.
I did not say I was going to, so
Arch is gonna learn what a poison dart trap does in 3, 2, 1.
The wizard does 1d4 anything damage.
Yeah.
I actually have a good amount of hit points. Thank you very much.
12d6 amount of hit points.
I have 45 hit points.
4d5. That's a weird way to calculate it.
I still don't know how I have so little health when you guys have that much, but
Roll an opposed grappling check. Sound screen.
So that would be
Oh, no.
I
athletics.
believe so. You fail. The chest polymorphs itself into a chest-like monstrosity with teeth and a massive tongue that has wrapped itself around you.
that's
Oh,
a
I-
mimic. That's a mimic.
Oh, fancy.
Are we in initiative or can I respond?
Well, Turtracker just appeared.
Well, you're gonna be part of its initiative. Know what I'm
Initiative.
saying?
Hmm.
Oh, do you need to clear it from last time?
We'll just replace when we
It
roll
will
new
replace it
initiative.
if you select your token and roll.
Yay! Less!
I don't think I gave anyone advantage.
I don't remember.
I
I don't think you
so,
did,
no.
no.
So,
This screen is so tiny.
Arch, you're supposed to be right in front of the freaking chest here.
This
Ah,
screen
it's
is so
teleporting.
small. That's because I couldn't. I right-clicked on it to go to add turn, and that portion was above the screen. I had to move them so I could see that option.
Fair.
So small.
Oh, that's right. I sold my shield or gave it away. I need a new shield.
Hey, look at that. The Nemec goes first.
Wow, our initiatives.
It's great, isn't it?
5
Speed.
players and a 10 goes first.
Yep.
All right, so it's going to bite Mr. Arch, which it has an advantage on, right? Since he's grappling him.
Unless it has specific grappling rules, grappling will only reduce Archer's speed to 0.
Hmm.
Understood.
It can then drag him if it wants.
Blah, 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 blah.
Does it have swallow whole, or when grappled, it can
No,
do
no,
something?
it doesn't. I was asking. So does your 17 hit you with a bite attack? Downscreen.
Normally, yes, but I'm going to do that, so no.
Okay, so he gets grappled, and as he reaches to open the chest, as the tongue wraps around him and gets pulled forward, and it tries to chomp on his head, and just bite into him with these salivating teeth that are dripping with this acidic. Is it burning something on the ground? Weird. Something you notice out of the side, out of the corner of your perception. But as it tries to bite on him, a shield of magical energy springs around him and it stops short, barely before it contacts Arch's skin. Patches, what would you like to do? Patches. Narikins. Patcheskins.
Oh, yeah, now she shuts up.
Yeah,
What?
You
your
heard
turn.
me.
It's your turn.
All right, so I can see this thing, right?
Yeah, it's right there. You guys should be able to see it. Yeah, it's right there. You should be
I
able to see it.
am going to cast Magic Missile.
Times 3, that's 15 damage. Jesus. Unless you're wanting to roll each individual.
Yeah, I can
Eh.
speak as a free action, right?
Speaking is a free action.
Yeah.
Interaction is a free action. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say, move away. I'm just
Why?
Boom. I'll let Soundscreen explain.
no. That's Art just said move away. If you choose not to move away, that's your life choice.
He's probably gonna nuke himself.
Well, okay then. That's it.
I can only protect so many of us if I do what I plan to do.
All right. So many moving pieces and so little screen space. Koji, your turn.
All right. I have 10-foot reach. I can hit it from here, right?
As long as the rules state that each step to get to the space that the mimic currently in counts to 10.
Yep, that is correct. And diagonal spaces are just 5 feet and 5e.
Okay. As long as the rules, as written, state that you can.
And I'm still using my regular glaive at this stage, so just gonna be swinging that at it.
No spear?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
And extra attack.
That hits. That also hits. Dang, 20 damage.
And bonus action.
Nice.
That's 30 damage. Nice, dude.
And I seem to remember someone I consider dangerous telling us to move away, so
Somebody I consider dangerous, yeah.
back over here.
Arkken, it's your turn.
All righty then. Let me see. 5, 10, 15 feet of movement. I have a line of fire.
You do. Narrow line, but you could make it.
Yes. So I shall go with the classic random bullshit. Go! And again.
Hits, and that murders the ever living piss out of it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, so it's dead.
Oh yeah, it's dead. The second axe. So yeah, it's dead. The second axe buries into it after the first disappears back into your hand, and it just kind of peels back. It's the lid head of it kind of falls open, and the body kind of puddles a little bit around its loss of muscular force, and revealing kind of grotesquely in the center of what apparently is a stomach your magical items.
As soon as it drops me, he goes, yeah, I go, oh, well, that works too. And I reach in, I roll up my sleeves and I go elbows deep for the magic items.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? Something sounded dangerous.
I lean my head up. I was gonna blow up like everything around me, and I could only protect so many of you when I do that. So I didn't want too many of you in the area because I don't want to hurt. As much as it pains me to say it, I do not even want to hurt the cat.
Well, that's good,
That surprises me.
I think.
I could still shoot you.
That doesn't surprise me.
But yeah, I pull out whatever said magical items are.
Okay, so you need you to roll a d100.
You were hard drive. There you go.
2d6.
A holy avenger.
How many d6?
2d6.
2.
That is 550 gold piece gems.
550 gold piece gems. Okay, so
Correct.
yeah. We should probably ask who's writing down right now. I can do it if no one else is.
Okay.
You wrote that in Sadiq Gilgamesh. So everybody in Sadiq Gilgamesh, make sure to write down in your inventory. We have 550 gold piece gems. All right.
All right.
And give me a d4. Sounds good. Okay. Do you want to roll both of these, or do you want to hand them off to somebody else?
That's up to the group.
Anybody want these?
I can roll them, sure.
D100. D100.
9138.
You find a small bead. It looks about just shy of your fist, almost like a golf ball. It's shining with a translucence that reminds you of a pearl, but murkier, darker.
Yep.
The 38 is a potion. And because apparently in 5e you can sip a potion without using any of it and identify it instantly, or something like that.
You can. The problem is that if you're trying to do that to, for example, a bottle of poison,
Right.
well.
Okay. Well, then you
Well,
find a potion.
So is that the extent of the treasure? He's on a different screen. I know it.
Yes, that's all the extent of the treasure.
Awesome. Arch is going to use prestidigitation to clean himself off, and then he will step out of the room, sit down, and begin ritually casting Identify.
If nobody
can
stops him, the next
guessing
20 minutes are spent standing around waiting for him to do this.
It's just 10
I'm guessing
minutes.
there's nothing in the barrel.
2 items. If nobody's going to sip the potion.
Nexus asked about the barrel.
The barrel? Oh, it's a barrel of ale. It's actually sealed with lots of heavy wax and has a maker's label on it.
That sounds like it might be worth something.
Yes, worth drinking. Now, quiet. I'm concentrating.
Is it really that difficult to concentrate?
You discover that the I'm just going to skip ahead. The it's a bead of force.
I'm gonna
And a potion.
interrupt him at the 7-minute mark 3 times in a row.
It's a bead of force and a potion of gaseous form.
You can throw it up to 60 feet, explodes on impact, and is destroyed. Each creature within 10 feet of where it lands has to hit a DC 15 dex save or take 5d force damage. 5d4 force damage. A sphere's transparent force then encloses the area for 1 minute. Any creature that failed its save is trapped in the sphere. And anybody who succeeded is pushed out of it. Only breathable air can pass through, no attack or other effect can. You can push against the sphere to move it. And it can be picked up. And it weighs only 1 pound. Interesting. We only found one of them?
Yeah, apparently they come in singles.
Huh. Because I was just reading that it says it's usually 1d4 plus 4.
Oh, are they? Okay, then roll that 1d4 for me. Who are Koji can, since you rolled the item itself.
Yeah.
1d4 plus 4, please.
2.
So 6. So it was maybe a little bag that had 6 of them in there.
Yeah. Little dark pearly beads. Pearl-like beads.
With beard of force.
Beard of force. Yeah.
What was the DC to avoid it, by the way?
15.
15. That's a decent DC.
Just thought that I'd put that on the notes
Item
for
name.
them.
Yeah, that'd be good. And a potion of gaseous form is also very handy for getting into places.
Yes, the 5 times 50 gems.
Or to airdrop someone somewhere. Just drink the
Mhm.
gaseous form before you hit the ground.
There you go. No, what you do is as you're going down, before you drink the gaseous form, the enemies are below you. Just drop the bag. Let's open the bag of beads on them.
You are caught in 6 different layers of Wall of Force.
Can you imagine making your save and just being bounced around between the different fields?
Actually, here's a question. What happens if you make one save but fail another?
You're bounced into the other one.
So you're just caught in the layers now.
Yeah. Well, you're pushed out of one when you make a save. You're pushed out of the encapsulated layer.
Okay, so what happens if you fail your first save, thus getting caught in one, and then succeed on the second?
You can't, because the second bead can't go inside the field created by the first bead, because no only breathable air can pass through the sphere's walls. So if you fail, you're caught inside.
So if the beads are triggered at the same time,
they would push against each other like 2 bubbles forming at the same time.
Wouldn't the bead then need to make the save to see if it gets caught inside or outside?
No, if you're talking about instantaneous, then the fields are generating at the same time.
Yeah. That or it works that way because the DM said it did.
Now, if you're saying, I'm caught inside of one and I have a bead of force in my possession and I want to use a bead of force, what's likely going to happen is what I saw happen in a comic with Sue Storm when she got really pissed off at Taskmaster for shooting her husband. He was very flat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that happen when you use a force field against a solid object and there's something in between it.
So what you're telling me is that that particular dome is no longer translucent. It is now opaque and red.
No. The dome is. The dome is, but what's caught in between it can still be seen. It's just a thin layer. Yes, we can leave.
Yes. Thank you, Nexus. Somebody's trying to game the Beta Force. I had to stop it in its tracks, but thank you, Nexus. We need to move forward.
I honestly wouldn't. I just think it's
I
funny.
would hand the beads to Ella.
Not to the cat.
You don't have thumbs, remember?
She has Mage Hand. Does Mage
So
Hand
she
have
lied.
thumbs?
She has a thumb.
At least one ethereal thumb.
But yes, I give them to Ella.
Kidok.
And I hand the potion off
Thank
to
you.
Arkken, because Arken's there.
I would reverse that. You want a guy that has a good throwing arm with those beads.
Look, what they choose to do with them after I've handed them off is their business.
It's
They
true.
both look at each other and switch.
Yeah.
Just perfectly fine. I wonder how Reginald is doing.
I'm doing fine.
Who's
Yeah.
Reginald?
He is my companion. He is a hawk.
You know what?
A hawk, huh? So
Yes.
a bird.
Yes.
Eyes widening.
It's a familiar.
I
You have
would
been a
like to
familiar
remind
before.
you that I do know how to cast both Lightning Bolt and Fireball, and that should be encouragement enough not to mess with my bird.
In that
Oh, I
order.
can also cast
Fireball
lightning
could
bolt.
be useful.
Just
No.
wait until I get a little bit stronger. We'll see what plane you belong to when I cast Banishment on you.
I mean,
I
don't we
can-
already know?
I can also
Yes.
cast lightning bolt.
And good luck getting back.
No one
Well,
cares
I'm
about
no
my lightning
longer
bolt. Okay?
anyone's familiar, so
That would be an interesting discovery for Soundscreen.
yeah.
But as you guys leave, you're traveling up these stairs into the warehouse itself. And the exiting the warehouse proper isn't much of a problem. Again, there's not many people, and layers of earth have all the sounds that you created were kind of muffled. So there's no activity above you. The streets are still clear, though it has been a few hours, at least 2, maybe 3 hours since you had gone down. The sun is starting to change this color of the night in the east, and so you know that dawn is coming within the next couple hours.
Well, it seems that at least the city's none worse for wear. Koji says as he looks around, considering what we did in there.
I would like breakfast. Then I want to build my box. And then I would like to take a nap. Since it's so early.
It might occur to somebody with a more less driven brain to realize that he probably needs a lot more sleep than he needs to build that box. And the building the box is probably going to take time, carpentry and angles and cutting and measuring.
First point of business is actually getting a night's rest. We've been out all night.
I would say that getting something to eat first might not be the worst idea, if there's anything anywhere open. But yeah, any menial labor should be done after sleeping.
The go ahead.
I was just about to say, but for now, let's not stay in the warehouse or close to it. Let's vacate the premises.
Should we, by the way, let someone from the city know that we've massacred a bunch of people?
That's
don't
usually
know.
not a good idea, isn't it?
I was going to say, those are the terms I would use, which is probably inadvisable.
We
As
can let
much as-
the town guards know that we found a suspicious place, and they should check it out.
I mean, we can always just say there's a broken window at one of the factories when we walked by.
Wouldn't that still point to you guys?
I'm thinking that I'll just tell them that we found a compound of undead worshippers and did what adventurers do best.
I mean, if you have concrete evidence that they were the bad guys, then I'd say go for it.
There are lots of undeads down there,
No, there are
And
lots
the
of
la-
deads.
and a lab of people who were being cut off and in all manner of ways.
Then maybe that might be the best idea. Just maybe.
So the decision is food or
Go get yourself situated at the inn. Get some food. I'll find the city god in the meantime.
everybody agree?
Okay. Do you
Sure.
need me to come along, or
If you'd like. If not, then if you prefer food, then do that.
So, can I tag along with you guys? Or is this where we part ways? Or.
of course you can come along?
I say you've earned your keep. We do need to get you working on some push-ups, though.
Push ups?
Doc,
Get you
muscle
some
cat will not happen.
Get you some protein.
Muscle cat's not going to
Start,
happen. Doc.
start getting them gains.
Little tiny bench, little tiny weights, except for doing presses. So you guys are leaving. I guess Koji's splitting off. Nobody's going with him. And
I'll
the
make
rest of
sure that Art gets some food.
you guys are going to the inn.
Please do.
I'll actually tag along with Koji in this case.
Okay. Are you walking along with him, or are you trying to
I am
ride
literally.
him?
I'm just walking beside him.
Okay.
Just tippy tapping next to him.
Okay. So you guys are strolling along, and we'll circle back around to you in a second as I clarify the lodgings. Ella, as you and Arkken, as you lead Arch through the streets, you find Reginald circling overhead, and he flies and from perch to perch, and he's watching around. And Arch,
Hmm.
as I'm understanding, find familiar and familiar's connection to individuals, it's just telepathic. Is there any empathic connection? Is there any emotional feedback through that link?
Mm,
At one point, it used to be only empathics. Then now it says telepathic. I'm like, is there any remainder?
I would say both. I mean, by the nature of being telepathic, you would be empathic, I would think.
I can see that. Yeah.
Right? If you've got because you're understanding their thoughts
Mm-hmm.
and contextualizing them as words, wouldn't emotions also be part of thoughts?
I could see that being a
'Cause
filter, at least a.
Yeah, like I could tell if they were scared or worried, but I would think
you-
it would only bleed through with strong emotion.
bleed through a strong emotion.
Hmm.
I would say this is strong enough considering what you guys.
At least
did.
at first, right? As you've been with them longer, you'd probably pick it up.
More and more, or deeper
Mhm.
connection. Okay, we'll go with that. And the feeling that you're getting is uncertainty. And you look up at Reginald,
Hmm.
and he's looking like he's searching his surroundings, like behind you and front of you, alleyways, over the rooftops.
I'm
And
gonna
you
put my
recall,
hand.
and you
Oh, sorry.
recall a time before when you guys were ambushed by the Crimson Shroud that he was on a perch overwatching you guys in an inn, and the Crimson Shroud were sneaking up on him, like they were directly behind him before he heard him and took off. So
I'll put my hand on Elaneiros and say, "Can you make sure I do not stumble while I do this?" and I will start looking through Reginald's eyes to see what he's seeing, and mentally I'm like, "You seem uneasy, friend. What's going on?"
Don't know. Shadows, maybe. Maybe followed. Maybe hunted. Don't like hunted. Am hunter. I hunt, but I cannot see them if they are there. And he's scanning around, and with his telescopic vision as he focuses in and out, it's kind of a weird effect for you. You've done it a few times before, and it's not making you sick, but it does tilt your brain a little bit as he very visibly to you, or perception zooms a little in and out and clarifies on further details. And it's just, he's like, did I see? And it's just a constant stream of, did I see something there? Is that something? And you get a feeling that he might be a little spooked about his experiences while you were in there, because he wasn't in there per your command, but he felt everything.
Yeah.
He heard your thoughts, and he's, now that you're out, he's scanning. He's worried. He's cautiously. He's unsure that he saw anything following you, and so, but something caught his eye at one point, and he's just scanning.
Gotcha. Well, I trust your judgment as always, friend. Keep your eyes open and let me know if you notice anything unusual. And then I'll say to everybody else, I'll be like, Reginald's uneasy. Like, he keeps thinking he's seen something, but he's not. As a note, I've still been concentrating on detect magic. Am I detecting anything around that makes me believe that
60 feet?
Let's see. $30 feet.
No, you're picking up like the various minor magical accoutrements that people have in their homes and businesses.
But nothing as strong as like invisibility, illusion magic, or anything like that.
No illusion magic's being picking up, stuff like that. Just your basic stuff like ink wells that make sure the ink doesn't go dry, stuff like that. And so you travel along, and it's not hard for you to find the any inn or place to stay, especially with food that's served at this hour, because they have their lanterns going, their magical lights on, their doors are open. It is summertime, and it is you know, kind of balmy, and so you're able to find any open in place just from the noise, from the light, the signs, and things like that. There's a variety of places to take your pick from. There's the hanged donkey, which is not as bad as it sounds. It's actually just, the sign portrays an accident of a donkey on a cart, and had a bit of an accident, and he's kind of hung up on the cart. It's just a little kind of a humorous thing where the donkey's just tilted up, unable to get his feet on the ground. And then there's the Laughing Monk, which is your typical ale house type place. That's more for the studious people, quote unquote, to drink away their studious woes. There's a variety of places to choose amongst from.
Mm-hmm.
So take your pick.
So, what are your thoughts, Hila?
I don't really know.
It's not that big of a choice. Just having fun. Just say you pick one, man, or I'll pick for you.
That sounds fun. I'll let the voice in the sky pick for me.
Picking for you? Oh, okay.
Eeny, meeny,
Yeah.
miny, mo.
How poor have I become?
You guys go into the Laughing Monk, and it shows just a cleric of Ogma on the sign, just drinking. Vaguely reminds you of what's his name? That guy from Robin Hood. Friar Tuck, that whole image.
Ah,
That could, as the signage for it. And you go inside, and it's filled with there's a monk or two in there, sure, but it's filled mostly with people of seems like studious bent. They have ink on their fingers. They're going over tomes or paperwork and stuff like that. They're reading through various journals or talking amongst themselves in heated debates, and they're wearing finer clothes to drabby clothes, depending on the state of their profession, whether they're a harried professor or scholar or a well-to-do lecturer. The bartender is a well-dressed individual, a little bit of a belly, man about 45 years old, sleeves all rolled up, and he's polishing the bar. Invites you over when he sees you come in with a wave. Doesn't talk until you get to the bar. Haven't seen you
Alright.
here before. New in town?
indeed. We're travelers.
Adventurous from the look of you. Lots of weaponry on you.
That's
see your
absolutely
type.
correct, good sir.
Don't see your type in the Laughing Monk. Usually they go down to one of the other more bawdier taverns. Well,
Well, from the onset, it looked like a pleasant place
we
to
try
find
to
some.
we try to keep a good atmosphere. What can I get for you guys? We have some food at this time of night, plenty of ale. Only 2 rooms if you're looking for a place to stay.
Sounds good.
Well, I'll take the 2 rooms, and then I'd like you to, prepare some food. I have some companions coming over in some time, so we need 5 meals in total.
All right, 5 plates. We'll get it back to the kitchen and get it up for you. Did you want some cream or milk for the cat?
She'll be having one of the plates.
You know what?
I'm not
I
sure.
don't know what cats eat, so just
I'll
do
have,
something
like-
appropriate for the cat.
Like a pork cutlet or some chicken strips.
Is that what it is? Little kitty wants some tendies?
We're nowhere near
Is
you guys.
Nari just busying
Yeah,
herself
we're-
with mouthing off in text?
Yes.
I mean, she's with Koji, so there.
Yeah.
We're in
Yeah,
a
they're not
completely
there.
different place.
Right.
The cat's with Koji, so
But
I
also,
was
just looking
I
for
was
the
gonna
cat.
be talking about like how in Coromir cats actually have. There's actually a law like where cats are like totally accepted. It's like against the law to harm a cat. And so, like your acceptance into the tavern, I thought you were going to question it and talk about it and things like that.
I was more just
Cool.
thinking this. I was more like this monk has like plus 20 to insight or
Yes,
something.
it does.
Holy
It does.
shit!
Yeah, this is,
I mean, the fact that Arch just suddenly went touch my hawk and that would change. I was like, Sunscream, you're not with us. Shut up.
Doesn't matter. I wasn't telling you in character. I'm telling Nari out of character.
right, but I forgot that she went up with them. That's my brain.
But I'm still gonna change more a bit. 4 plates, something for a cat, and the 2 rooms. And
Sounds like
why
a cat.
not some?
Okay, a cat. All right.
Well, if they're allowed.
Well, they are. It's Coromir.
Yes, and as much as it pains me to say it, the cat was quite helpful to us today, so make sure it's good and delicious and all that stuff.
Possibly chicken.
How's it going?
Arch's eyes narrow.
Aw, Arch likes the cat.
Arch likes chickens more.
Yeah, he likes chickens more, but he likes the cat.
Polymorph gone wrong. Get a half cat, half chicken, and Arch's mind explodes.
No. That's what's called an abomination to nature, and it's something I specialize in correcting.
So you guys get settled in for dinner and able to conversate over dinner, and we'll switch over to Koji and Patches.
Sounds good.
Patches is walking along the street and alongside
Has
Koji,
hopped
and
on top of the shoulders of
It is
Koji
being
when he
carried
offered.
on the shoulder.
I asked if you wanted to be carried. You're like, no, I'm walking on the street. And now you're back to doing. You changed your freaking mind.
And then Koji was like, "Do you want up?" Sure.
So Koji looked down at the 2-year-old next to his feet, says, "Up, up, up," and you raised your arms up, and he picked you up and put you on. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, basically.
Uppies, uppies. Okay. And so you're carrying the cats on a shoulder, and you get a very weird sensation, Koji. It's almost like a physical sound. It's an auditory sound, but it's so physical. And she's cleaning her paw, and that sound right next to your ear hole, your lizard ear hole, is it's a visceral sound, and it's just unbearable.
Hunger of Hadar.
Have you ever had your ear hole licked?
Hey, Dragon. Hey,
We're
Dragon
not going
Boy.
there.
Ever had your ear hole penetrated?
Hey, Dragon Boy. We love
The
you
cat
long
is
time.
just
Ever
licking
had
her
your ear
paw
hole
and
licked?
then rubbing her own ear, and then then that.
I'm fairly certain Cody has heard worse things before, like a dragon washing itself.
Oh
Because in
god.
my head, that functions exactly like how a cat does it.
Yes, but with a more slithering, scaling, slimy sound.
Yeah, and the ground shakes.
All right. You guys, you're going directly to like a guard station or the main guardhouse, a barracks, or are you just going to any guard you see?
I'm going to any guard I see to begin with, just to go. Hey, so bunch of
The
dead
thing
people.
happened.
Okay. So you approach a pair of guards. They're standing at an intersection. They're discussing some things and can't quite make out what their conversation is. And the low morning chatter, and they're just kind of leaning on their pikes with some arming swords at their hip. And
Koji is still wounded, by the way.
He's still wounded?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is missing like 10 health.
He's not like on death's door, but
There you
he
go.
has wounds.
No, it's that's not why. It's more that they can see that he has been
Well-
bleeding.
You're healing now. Take it.
Now you're glowing as the magic cat casts a spell on you as approach the guards. Or at least the pendant on her collar glows.
Yes.
So you catch their attention as you approach. You're not fully healed. You said you had 10 missing. 6 is not going to fix that. So you're still
Turns out I
kinda
was
beat up.
wrong. I was missing 9, so I'm now missing 3.
Okay, you still cut up, beat up, bruised, abused, traumatized, PTSD,
All that
Oh,
good
Koji
stuff.
has all kinds of PTSD. You just haven't told me that they've triggered yet.
We're waiting for that special moment. You approach them and they're like, "What happened to you?"
Oh yeah, that's actually why I was looking for you guys. Did you know you had a big undead cult under the city? Emphasis on had.
Right about that time, something very dramatic happens. Boom. I'll take it from here, guys. And behind you is Harwill as he teleports in. That sound was air splitting as the portal was ripped open. A little bit of a cracking boom. You are causing me all sorts of problems. Come with me.
I should say so. Good evening, guys.
Wait, what's going on here? Guys, I'm with the War Wizards. Look here, my badge. Oh, sorry, sir. You have a good night. We never saw him. Let's move on today. We never saw him. Yeah, the War Wizards and wander off, trying to get as much space between you and him.
All right.
Yes. Okay. So, from the bits and pieces that I was able to follow up on you guys, what was going on down there?
A big old cult of undead things. And people using magic and dark ropes. They're all dead. Very dead.
Yeah, I caught that when I scried in on the location and you weren't there. I had to track the ring again, and I found you up here about to have a conversation with the guards. We don't need this conversation to happen to the regular people, okay?
Right?
Remember the last time we had this conversation?
Just figured someone should know that there's a whole thing filled with dead people before, I don't know, spirits get unrested and stuff.
We'll take care of it. The ring was to track you guys, so we never lost you guys. All right. We haven't been in contact with you because we've been dealing with some things. Where are the rest of you? I don't feel like casting scrying right now.
Oh, they're settling on the tavern.
Okay. Do you know which tavern?
I suspect they continue down Main Street, so I'm thinking of just going through them until I find them. Can't be that hard to find them.
I am so tired of casting spells. We're gonna walk
Then,
and we're gonna find them.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and hi, you. And he like waves a finger at the cat. I'm uncertain what to make of you, and he's uncertain what to do, and he's kind of like standing there like, thinking. And you see gears turning, and he decides to give up on whatever he's thinking or put it to the side and just walks down the street.
Hairball.
Did you do that on Koji?
Yep.
You've been corporeal for all of 3 hours, and you already have a hairball.
I mean, I've been washing myself in the time that Arch was ritually casting shit and on Cody's shoulder.
Also, think about how many years she has wanted to do that and couldn't.
Yep.
Oh God.
Also,
Koji,
this
you have
now corporeal body needs to learn how to function properly.
you have quite the mess on your shoulder. If you don't know what a hairball looks like, it's
I've had cats.
Okay. Oh,
Well, that's
I'm not
unpleasant.
even going to turn around. I hope that's not what I think it is.
Are cats supposed to do that?
On the regular. Yeah, the libraries I visit, they typically have cats for rodent problems. And yeah, they do that all the time.
All right, I guess I'll wash up when we get back. Please don't puke on me again.
And so the hairball rolls off of your shoulder pad and onto the street, and you just have this streak of puke on your shoulder pad.
Splotch.
Koji is nonplussed.
All right, so you guys walk down the street, and you guys are checking out the different places, like the Hang Donkey and the.
I did have
Grassy Knoll.
Reginald keeping an eye on them. I put it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
If he sees this person, once he's within range to tell me that they're there and looking for us, I would relay.
Oh, yeah. He's seen Harwell. I mean,
Yeah. I'm saying once he's within the 100 feet of me and he lets me know, hey, that war wizard's here and he's with the group and they're looking for you, I will have Reginald fly down, get Koji's attention, and fly and land on top of the inn that we're in.
Okay, so that begins to happen. It's like, what? Is that somebody's familiar? That's your wizard's familiar, isn't it? Harwell's talking to you.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to push the button. Yes, and Koji waves at it.
All
The
right,
cat
I
is
think
looking
it's
up and is doing the cackling thing. I don't know how else to explain. Yeah, that.
Okay, so the cat is excited to see your pet hawk, your familiar hawk, in a predator prey kind of way.
Yep.
And so you guys follow the hawk all the way back to the Laughing Monk. It's like, oh, well, that suits the wizard. It's as finest place as any. In we go. Oh, Edgar, how are you? Can we use your conference room? Oh yeah, it's the next room. And so there's a back room. It's a small little room that he gathers up all of you into, just to cut
And
short any conversation to push things forward. Unless you have something pertinent to say, Koji.
the only thing I have is just asking the innkeeper, do you have a towel I can borrow?
When he says that, I press to digitate him clean.
Never mind.
You, the Edgar, the barkeeper, just nods and waggles his fingers at you, gives you a thumbs up. Seems like he's got it.
Take care of the warband.
Sorry, what?
Warband?
I say we take care of the warband.
Oh, the warband looks after each other. You're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so
I said that specifically to Koji.
Oh, okay.
Because you would have heard that through Reginald.
He calls us the warband all the time.
Fair.
And yes, we do. I appreciate it, Arch. Have you procured food and lodging?
He burps as he has already finished eating.
Good boy.
Now I can read books.
Indeed, you can. After this.
He did well. I barely had to feed him.
This conversation is happening as you guys are settling in around the table. It's a small conference room. It's like a 10 by 10 with a small table. You guys are all kind of crowded in there. It's like, all right, guys, this room has some small protection against scrying. I can't say it's the best, but that's what we got. So, to recap, we have sent out a decoy to try to draw the attention of this cult away using the Harpers and some false messages about something to deal with this undead menace that's kind of cropping up all around the country.
Is the intent of this decoy to distract them from us?
Yes, yeah, that was the intent. This was covered over before. He's recapping in character things that you may need refresher on.
Oh, that's not going to work.
And well, no, he may know that now, but he's giving you a recap. Okay,
Right. No, the Arch was responding to him saying, "Yeah, we did that thing." I was like, "Oh, that's not going to work."
Well, let me finish. So we sent out the convoy with the intent of seeding some information to certain individuals that had certain supplies or plan or something to help with this problem. And yeah, I got their attention. That convoy was attacked halfway to Marzember.
Huh. I suspect survivors. I'm trying to find the thing on the map.
It's dead center south, just to the right of
sorry.
Suzal.
There it is. Marsenberg. Thank
From
you.
Marzember to Arabelle. And it was to draw their attention away from all of the actions that you're doing in Sunset Hill and the Hulk Forest, because Harwell was directing you that direction because it seemed like there was more activity further east than there was out west. And that was why you went to Sunset Hill, because after you found the evil vampire that Arch has a hard on to kill, you followed those tracks and trails of the wagons, and it went east to seemingly Sunset Hill. And so you went to Sunset Hill, did some digging around, found the cult, went down, got the Phoenix Egg, and now Harwell's checking in on you. To distract the cult's activity, belief that you were going to be operating in the eastern sides of the country, they were going to concoct this plan, so they weren't expecting you. Hence, they weren't really prepared for an attack in their underground lair. Since they destroyed the caravan and everybody's been killed, they likely know that the whole thing was a lie. And since you destroyed their little compound down there and seemingly found something very important. They're likely going to be looking for you. Decoy being alive, you're stealing something, you're going to be prime targets.
I believe the appropriate term would be plundering something.
Lexiconal issues aside, I just wanted to give you a heads up that they're a little bit more powerful than we initially believed. We underestimated how strong they would be. Just say that in order to destroy this convoy, it wasn't a horde of zombies and skeletons that had to do this. There were war wizards and purple knights involved. There were harbor agents embedded in this caravan.
So maybe moving in a way they don't suspect could work.
Possibly. Or cutting to the heart of the problem and stopping it at its source while we hold the tide is the answer. And that's what I'm banking on, and that's why I hired you.
That can work, yes.
But I need you to know, that's why I'm here, is that it is my belief that you are going to be hunted.
Yeah, if they didn't like us before, they're really not going to like us now. They were trying to basically create an evil phoenix.
He kind of like stares at you.
Yeah, they had it in this furnace, and they were shoveling undead into it. To
An
fuel.
egg. An egg.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
egg.
You have a phoenix egg.
Question.
They had a phoenix, and they were burning
Yes.
bodies to...
Yeah.
What's wrong with that phoenix egg? Why aren't you on fire for holding it?
Because it's sick. I'm working on that. But, however, you could possibly speed this up. Do you know where the nearest opening to the elemental plane of fire is?
Find your nearest volcano.
Well, I mean, those are not necessarily from the plane of fire. I mean, there's geothermal conduction and the way.
Yes.
What?
The natural formation of them is one thing, but after fire exists of some intensity in any one place, it naturally always opens a portal to the plane of fire. You go deep enough into any ocean, you will find a portal to the plane of water. You go high enough into the sky, you will find a portal to the plane of air. You go deep enough to the earth, you will find a portal to the plane of earth. These things
Okay,
exist.
I understand the concept. 2 questions. Number 1, do you know somebody that can plane shift?
Yes, and their services aren't cheap.
Okay. Would it be cheaper than rebuilding whatever area is destroyed by this thing hatching?
Are you sure this thing hatching that it would be a true phoenix? It's already changed.
I know that I would rather have it hatch inside the elemental plane of fire than here.
It's true.
So, if you know somebody who could
But
plane
what's
shift,
wrong with it? No.
it's been infused with necromantic energy.
Necromantic energy. A being of pure
Life being
elemental
infused
destruction
and life.
And rebirth being infused with pure undeath.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to piss off the Fire Lords of the elemental plane by sending a nuclear bomb of undeath into their plane of existence randomly.
I understand that. The flip side of that is I really don't want an elemental being of undeath here in my backpack. I mean, I do, but you know what I mean. It would be irresponsible.
Let me get back to you. I don't have an answer to that. I didn't scry on you the entire time you were down there.
Okay, do you know the spell Banishment?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
He might, and he points to the... He might know somebody, and he points to the cleric. They're more akin to banishing spirituals.
Well, I mean, it's also a something us wizards can do.
I know, but I'm just saying...
No, you don't. You just said you didn't know.
I know the concept. I hate sometimes arguing within my own career. It's just...
Yes, I know. It's wonderful, isn't it? All right, so I will hold on to the egg for now. I'm not sure if that would actually work, because if it was born here, would it be native of this plane, even though it's an extraplanar entity? That's a question. I need to look into that.
They're so rare. There's been so little study on them, and anytime a wizard gets their hands on them, it's usually just study their parts and what they can be used for with spell components. They don't study their ecology or what they're made of.
Well, that's very short-sighted, isn't it?
Maybe so, but the power gained by using Phoenix blood is immense.
Are phoenixes intelligent and can speak?
Yes.
Why not find a phoenix mother and ask her if this can be saved then?
Because the Phoenix are very quick-tempered and quick to judge, and if they see
They have a
undeath,
fiery temper. Huh?
and they hate the undead, if they sense the necromantic energy, and if they would seem to destroy everything around it, they
Right.
are
So,
chaos.
So what is the best course of action then? Do we just destroy the egg? I mean,
I
Oh,
would
no.
say
supposedly
heal
it can be. Okay, how do we do that?
I think you're on the right path with finding an elemental fire to place this in to purify it, but it has to be something to purify the negative energy out of it. Otherwise, it's going to be infused with it.
Aren't there some cleric orders who are all about purge by holy fire?
Maybe? I mean, there's Lathander's cult, which is about dawn and new beginnings.
Hey,
That sounds like it would fit.
Yeah, phoenixes are about as new beginning as they get, isn't it?
Well, it's up to you guys to find out. I am not touching that
Work.
thing.
Arch needs to roll a will save to not touch him with the egg. Arch is going to try to touch him with the egg. Can't help it.
No, Nexus.
Is an egg considered a finesse weapon? Can I use my dex?
There's a
Improvised
note
weapon.
that teleported in, floats to the ground. Sorry, I was talking on the other screen and I forgot that that's a problem. So he teleports out as you try to touch him, leaving behind a note. It floats to the ground. And it sits there, untouched. Testing.
Mysterious.
Yes.
It's just he said something. He said that the note fell to the ground, and everyone was just looking at it.
It's like, it's like everybody's just like, okay. So he teleports out because he's trying to be touched by the egg and he doesn't want to deal with Archer's BS anymore. And he leaves behind a note.
I've heard of cliffs of warning. I ain't touching that.
Sure, I can pick it up.
Okay.
Uh,
So
Taylor picks it up.
it's just instructions to continue your investigation. The egg, he doesn't want you to take it very lightly. He wants you to investigate it. And that if you are seeking payment for previous services rendered, to go to city guard in Sunset Hill and their main office, and they have instructions to render payment.
Wonderful. Looks like there's payment and instructions.
So I just want you to continue what you're doing, and you're still under hire, and he's paying you for past services.
I like being paid for my job.
Mm-hmm.
Are we hurting for money?
No.
Not anymore.
I mean, I wasn't to begin with, but it's always nice having more money.
Well, yeah, you also found those 3 chests in the cult compound that had 500 platinum pieces apiece. You're not
What?
hurting for money. You forgot about that? Yeah, inside that little cult room where you were doing all the investigations and you found out that what Arch actually drank was the spell plague, the blue fire, the breath of blue
What?
change. Yeah, in that room, Ella was reading some notes and it was like talking about how this order of the Blue Flame had a branch office in there and they were studying the spell plague, the massive devastating plague, the massive devastating wave of blue fire that swept across the entire continent and killed millions of people, and magic stopped working and things like that. Well, this order was studying it or trying to help people and seemingly studying it. They created those
Okay.
beams of light, and that little area was like a whole research compound for those beams of light. And they were creating the lenses that focused the spell energy of the spell plague into cohesive energy that they were trying to do something with. And Arch drank that. And inside that little area where you found out it's branch officer headquarters, a small little area, and they had 3 chests along with a bunch of magic items. The 3 chests had 500 platinum pieces apiece, meaning you have 1,500 platinum pieces just from that. So, you guys wanting to continue on with your investigation? Want to go collect your money? What do you guys want to do?
So, what was the thing about money and everything? I just returned, so
Sorry. I didn't know
So,
you were okay.
he
hold
has left. He left because Arch tried to egg him, and he was like, "Oh hell nah!" And they left a note saying that if we're going to continue researching, I would like us to, and if we want to collect payment, we can do so at the local guard's office.
yeah, that seems like a good idea. Payment, that is.
So it's beginning to be the early morning. You just ate, get some rest. Then you're going to begin investigating or going to the guard office, collect your stuff all at the same time. Tell me what you're going to do, guys.
I think maybe collecting our stuff is a good idea. How good is the Sunset Hills as far as enhanced equipment goes?
Because there are regular calls from local military forces, government, various agents, mostly the government, mostly the crown, is looking to reclaim the Hulk forest as a whole. So it's not just a wilderness, untamed inside their borders. There's regular calls for adventurers to go in there and help reclaim it. Sometimes there's even military operations to go do so. But that leaves Sunset Hill kind of the nearest support town for any type of action inside of Hulk Forest, unless you're on the south side looking at Holtel, that down across the river. So Sunset Hill does have quite a few general adventuring shops, sundry shops, a few magical item shops, things like that people could prepare themselves with before going into the forest.
So I'd say collect payment, see if we can get some new gear, new stuff that'll help us. What do the rest of you think?
Sounds good.
Okay.
And then we can go attend the anti-human meeting after that.
Yes, I
Yeah.
would. I should like to attend that.
I feel
Didn't y'all
attacked.
allow cats in there?
I'm fairly certain they will. I mean, you're not a human.
No, I'm not.
Also, Arch, I'm not going to attend because I'm against humans. I'm going to attend because, well, if they happen to be very against humans, I'd rather find out about it before they run after you with torches and pitchforks.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably to be between them and you.
Wasn't the meeting like tonight?
It's the next night.
You know, that wizard did have a good a good idea. I do know I'm thinking about the egg. There's a temple dedicated to Lathander over in Evenstar that's not too far from us. It's on the other side of Arable from us.
Huh.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
just on our list of things to do. Go visit
of
the House
course.
of House of Mourning. Maybe they can help
Yeah.
us purify the egg.
Yeah, I like that
We-
idea.
We should probably also, after we've collected payment or before, go through all the things we found down in the hellhole we just been through.
Yes, that would also be a good idea. By the way, where is the nearest tax office?
Tax office or guard shack?
Tax office.
What do you mean, tax office?
What are you trying to do?
Pay us taxes.
I've been earning gold and I'm paying my taxes.
I'm
Aren't
gonna
you?
hit you. I'm gonna hit you. Stop. Stop.
I'm
Don't you know when you work for the government they withhold that already?
Now, you
Part of
say you're
Social
going to hit me.
Security.
I'd like you to look at my alignment and flaws, please.
sure you can go pay your taxes.
I am going to bed
Sounds good.
as I am tired.
I thought this was after sleeping.
Was
Is
it?
it
This was
after
after
sleeping?
the talkie talk, right?
Oh, if it's just after the talk, then yes, sleep.
Honk. Snooze.
So,
So
who can I bunk with?
Who would you like to bunk with?
technically you can
We
sleep
have
on a
2
cabinet.
rooms.
Technically, I could, but
Sleep on Elaneiros' face.
Arch opened a book to read it and immediately fell asleep. So he's asleep wherever he has been placed for the evening.
Do you let him sit in a chair or do you set him out on the bed before you let him read his book?
I'd like to very carefully put him into a barrel. Set that barrel out on the river.
and then just river, oh
Mhm.
river, be gentle.
Hairball on the book.
We're going to reenact Moses.
that would be death for the cat.
Yeah.
Why would that
What?
be death for the cat? What?
No, if you coughed up a hairball on my book,
I
Um,
what?
that's what Nexus said that you should do that.
No,
Nexus, I want you to know that I listen to you, sir,
I already
And
got
I-
a
and
hairball.
and I appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Did you get him a gift for his birthday?
Nexus's presence is all I need.
that's why it's called a present.
Hmm
Present.
Right.
I said- I said-
I just wish he'd given me his package, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm talking about you giving him something for his birthday.
Whose birthday?
Nexus's.
What about it?
Never mind. So where was Arch sleeping?
On the roof, apparently.
He gets a bed.
He gets in bed.
So he gets so Arkken picks him up, tucks him into bed, and here's your book. Go to sleep. There's a good Arch, and he's like, "Yay, book!"
He was asleep with the book in his hands before he even picked him up.
So you
I leave
pick
him a
up,
glass
and
of
you start-
water by the table, and I
A
heat up
little
his
kiss on the
slippers.
forehead.
You pick him up out of his chair. You burp him a little bit, and you set him down. Cover him with a blankie.
So the cat is gonna hop onto that bed, kind of just paw at Arch to see if he's actually asleep,
He's dead
he's-
asleep.
he's
using a
out
lot of
cold.
magic.
and then go kneading the blanket at his feet and curl up into a ball and go to sleep.
As per usual, the person that doesn't like the cat is who the cat wants to hang around.
Exactly.
Yep, that's why I've got a cat at my feet right now.
Mm-hmm.
Birds
so you
to
guys go to
kick. Rising.
He's sleeping.
Kikua!
So you guys sleep through the night. You get
Yep.
some restful
Yes.
sleep. Reginald slowly loses his uneasy feeling, so by morning you don't pick up on that, though he is wary, in that cautious kind of way.
Because
And
there's a cat at your feet.
like, holy shit. So tasty looking.
Wow, that's awful.
What are you
What are you
doing?
rolling?
That's for my wand charges.
Oh,
Oh,
Oof. That can happen.
Hmm
you didn't
Let-
expend all the things, right?
Let me just
Not
roll
the.
for the
I
charges
never
as
roll.
well.
I never spend the very last one.
So he has one to use.
Yeah,
No, I
I
have
learned
two.
that the hard way.
It's
Wait,
one
now
d
you
six
just-
plus one.
Now you destroy the staff of healing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me just roll the charges on my glaive. Oh, look, they're back.
Mhm.
I imagine when Arch wakes up at some point during the night, Pandora had slowly worked her way up, and she's under the blanket under Arch's arm.
Mhm.
Yeah, probably. Yes, let's say that. Sure.
Or even
Sounds
worse,
adorable.
Arch has started to think that he might be having sleep apnea until someone just walks in the middle of the night and see her just on his face.
Right.
Nah. Under the covers, and then just
If Arch wakes up,
by his side,
You're-
between
you're
his
ex- you're
side and his
warm.
arm.
You're warmer than usual because cats are naturally like 100 degrees
Yes.
Fahrenheit.
when I wake up, if she's still asleep, I will slip out of the bed without waking her up.
Roll stealth.
I
My
will
passive
not.
was 15, buddy.
So yeah,
I
the cat wakes
try.
up, but you can tell that he's doing a very bad job of it. But you can tell he's like, I'm trying to place my hands gently on this side of the bed, but it keeps shifting weirdly.
Creed.
I think it was she was sleeping partially on top of my book, and I wouldn't leave the book.
Nobody left behind.
Good morning.
Why are you in my bed?
Well, the door was open and it seemed comfortable enough
Why was I in a bed?
because Koji put you there.
No,
I didn't.
Arkken did.
Arkken
I-
did. Never mind.
can't take
Arkken put
credit.
you there.
But I was reading. Anyways,
Yeah, you read
it's
for like 2 seconds and then you fell asleep.
poppycock. I read at least 2 chapters. And Arch storms out of the room.
You forgot your book.
I did not. It's in my hand.
Then what book am I laying on with my butt?
I took that book.
Does Arch close the door behind him?
No.
Aw.
Just close the door. A few hours later, wait, where is the cat? Fuck, it doesn't have thumbs.
I,
I'll go tippy
It has
tapping
mage
after Arch.
hands.
I'm,
The cat has
I
mage
just
hands.
say real loudly, I'm heading to the blacksmith to make my box.
Do you want company?
Blacksmith or a carpenter?
Well, he needs to go to the blacksmith first because he needs to make sure he can get the tongs he wants. And he could probably borrow those tools. And I'm figuring Arch could probably make a box.
Nails.
Okay.
Basically, he wants to get everything he can from the blacksmith because he always likes, if he's going to spend money, he wants to spend it with the blacksmith. But anything he can't get from a blacksmith for his needs, he'll go elsewhere.
Do you want company?
Arch does not answer.
No answer. That doesn't mean a no.
Then I'll go clawing at like Arken's door. Sounds fun.
You know, in all of this, I just imagine those two in one room, and then the 3 beefiest men share one room.
One bed. Big bed. But they're all in it.
Here's-
Yeah.
just
Sure.
you go to the room, like the door's slightly ajar. Huh, they must have forgotten to close it, and see just all of them spooning.
Who's the big spoon?
Yes.
I don't mean, wait, isn't it called spooning when you're face to face?
No.
Spoon
No.
goes Back
No.
to stomach.
Yep.
When you're face to face, it's called forking.
But the penis.
What penis?
Face to
But
face is sword
but-
fighting.
But yeah, if the cat scratches at the
They're
door, I'm
playing
gonna.
tummy swords.
I mean, Arken's gonna be sleeping on a bedroll, so he's just gonna open the door when he hears the scratching.
I'm gonna waddle in.
Ark
Good
is laying on the
morning.
floor.
Good
He's
morning.
he's looking especially beefy this morning.
Arch has gone into town to make his box.
Well, all right.
Roll a wisdom check, Arkham.
I'm great at those. Hiya.
Okay. Move on with your day.
Where are we going to split up all the things? And he just. I swear that boy cares not for our plans. At least for my plans.
I think he just cares more about his own.
We'll have a very stern talking to later.
Are you a dad by any chance?
Not yet.
You could be.
Well, I plan on becoming one once the adventuring life grows dull.
You got a special lady friend?
Of course I do. I'm married.
Huh.
But she doesn't know that.
Why, huh?
I was going to let her know she's my wife later on.
You know, she did say no, but I did lock her up in a big old tower out in the ocean. I'm sure when I get back, she'll be into the idea.
She said no, but a club has a way of correcting things.
Koji, what do you expect? I'm in for the classics. She's in my labyrinth.
Aren't
Well,
you supposed to be unable to find your way out of that?
I am a little
No?
bit
the other way
taken
around.
aback by all of this. Is she okay?
Of course she is. She's
But
in our
the
beautiful
huh was
home for.
more... Sorry.
Oh, do go on.
The huh was more because of, well, dangerous situation you keep putting yourself in. Didn't think you were married.
I mean, a lot of women have something for big beefy military men.
I wouldn't know.
Fair, I suppose. But if my wife had problems with dangerous situations, she wouldn't have married me before I joined the Navy. Or the Marines, I should say.
Nah, that's why you're wearing blue.
Yes. You know, at some point I should tell the story of how I conquered a pirate ship. That was beautiful.
Ooh, do tell.
I should save it for a good evening with nice drink and great food.
Okay.
So,
But
alas. We have
So-
30 minutes left in the session. We can go do the
Yes.
stuff covering what you're doing for the day before the rally
duty.
this evening.
Yes.
And we can go over the rally and what goes on in it and leave things on a cliffhanger. Or what would you guys like to do?
That sounds like a good plan.
Well,
What do you guys
let's.
do? Good.
I was just about to say we should probably start by getting whatever we have divvied up, even though Arch is out doing stuff. He just get his share when we meet up again.
Yeah.
No, he
So-
wasn't here for that. He wasn't here for that.
No, the cat
So-
gets it.
So I'm going to ask the beautiful question: who wrote that down?
I did. It's in the party notes.
All right. You didn't mark down the chests with the platinum in them.
I thought that was what we were going to be collecting from the guards.
No, we found 3 boxes of platinum pieces
Yeah,
down in the
Okay,
dungeon.
I wasn't here when that was said then.
All right, fair enough. Well, I'll just add it.
I
Because
did.
it
It was mentioned last
I
time.
did.
too.
I did say work when I had to leave to let you know that I had to leave.
But you
that-
weren't
that-
working when you got them the first
That
time.
is fair. It's a grand total of 1,500 platinum pieces. So,
Beautiful.
all right. So, I will find the calculator.
The abacus.
Well, I just added it to the platinum total, Doc.
Yeah, well, it's nice to know where it came from.
Fair enough. And it was 3 chests, but I digress. Let's start by
Oh, wow.
splitting up the copper pieces. We each
That
get
is-
168.
That is Archer's
Yeah,
share.
do
Move
not
on.
count the cat. Please.
What?
Don't.
Fine, I won't count the cat.
Thank you.
Divide by 4 then. That's 210 copper pieces then. I have so many copper pieces. Holy shit. I
Here's
almost
a
have
banker.
I almost have 2,000 copper pieces.
What the fuck? You should probably,
That's 20 gold.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna put that at a nice 0. And we have to these silver pieces divided by 4. That is 670 silver pieces per person. I hope you all motherfuckers writing this down.
I'm not.
Yes.
Alright. Then with the gold, it'll be 450 gold pieces per person. And there'll be 1 gold piece left over. But Ela can have that.
How is the cat carrying all the gold?
The cat doesn't
Annually.
want to be
Do not-
included in the
no.
payment.
That's why I
okay.
said do not count the cat, because I'm not gonna be able to carry that around.
We're gonna need to get you like a small saddlebag.
And then there will be 378 platinum pieces per person.
What? How many?
378.
Okay.
And they'll technically be. And then 5 more gold, because it rounds to a half, so 5 additional gold pieces as well.
For each or for one?
For each.
Yay.
And then we just have potions and the like.
And the
And gemstones. And the beads.
gems.
But I assume people can claim potions if they feel like they need them. There you go. We have all gotten substantially
Oh.
richer.
We also have
We
a
are not
chest that's
using
now
the
empty.
party funds any longer then.
Hmm.
So
I
you
mean,
know,
as
the
far as I
party-
understood it, it was
the
just
party-
gathered. Oh, you go,
no,
Doc.
the party funds when we started was an additional quote unquote person that the gold got split into, and it was it was meant to be used for shared expenses like resurrections or transport.
Yeah. And Ela kept putting all their money into the party funds.
I will be completely fucking honest. I completely forgot. I thought we used that to track everything we got.
No, we write those next to it. That's why I wrote a chest with 1,500.
Well, I am a fuck dumb.
But you're lovable. I'm sorry for half paying attention. I was setting spells for today.
Well, are we
I hope you're
dividing the
writing-
1,500 plat?
I hope you were writing down at least some of the money that we were just given, because otherwise they
Yeah.
disappeared into the ether.
I have all the calculations on my calculator.
I didn't get copper or silver.
210 and 670.
210. So that'll be that much. And 670.
Silver, yes.
Man, I got way too much money on me. I don't know if Arch is physically strong enough to carry all this.
So I guess start building up the party funds again.
I'll take from my share and put into it since I feel like an idiot for what I just said.
No,
So don't worry about it.
no.
No,
You will not.
but I did a fuck up, so I have to pay for it. It's only fair.
Let me know when you're done editing.
Yeah, just a sec. Save changes.
Is who's editing party notes right now?
I am no longer editing the party notes. I have saved it as I
Were
left
you
it.
editing Nexus?
Nope.
Here we go. Just putting a reminder text so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, good idea.
Can you put 380 platinum in it?
I can do that. It has been added.
All right. Then we go and collect bounty or payment from the guards.
The guards are just sitting there like, we have this letter that we're supposed to give you gold. We have no idea what for. He just says, don't ask, just pay them.
Pretty much.
Also, doesn't say how much gold. So here's a copper.
Well, that would not be sufficient because that's not gold.
Sure, here's 1 gold.
That is more accurate to the letter. Thank you.
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Ugh, they sound like Wellington.
Oh no. Please no.
So, how much do we claim from the guardsmen?
You guys collect in total for the initial job that he hired you for and the payment therein guaranteed. You get paid 2,500 gold.
Should put all of that in the party funds. But Arch
Sounds
isn't
fair.
there to give that suggestion. Arch is somewhere arguing what truly makes a 10-penny nail with a...
It sounds like a good
Right.
plan, Ghost of Arch.
Yeah, I'd say so. That way we have lots of money sitting there in case work.
Yep. So the test with 1,500 plat got divided, right?
Yeah.
Good.
The chest.
Also,
Now you just have 3 empty chests.
I have the 6 beads of force, so I guess they shouldn't be in the party notes.
Mm-hmm. And the gaseous form is with Arkken?
I can turn into poo gas.
He can fart real good?
Kinda.
Don't know who is editing right now.
I am not.
Not it.
I'm just saying stuff.
Then I will remove the 2 things.
Thank you, Eel.
What?
What?
Thank you was said.
Should I say fuck you instead?
No, I just
he
heard
has a
thank you,
boyfriend."
Weedle.
I said Ela!
He said
Just what?
I'd at least call you like Beedrill in that case.
Oh my god. Why not just Absol?
Because it's edgy.
Because no.
I mean, thematically it makes sense.
Thematically, it makes sense. So whenever Ela appears, he is a sign of oncoming disasters. Is that it?
Maybe. Maybe. You don't know.
I don't. I hope that's not the case.
You don't know what happens when Ela leaves again.
If that's the case, we need to stay the fuck home. Anyways, if we need to get shopping done, I think we can do that between sessions.
Yes.
Leaves more time for now. So let's go to the meeting.
Yes. Just gonna say that at any point that the cat is with the group when there's other people as well, they just behave like a regular cat and don't speak.
Don't speak.
I know
Yeah.
what you're saying.
So, Soundscream, the only key that you would need at this point is to have a regular commenter always follow you around, and you'll have your goal.
Say that again?
She said when she's around normal people, she won't speak. So just have a commenter always follow you around, and you'll have what you want.
Nice.
No, because then that commenter becomes part of the group, so...
Yeah, no one normal can be part of our group.
The egg is about the size of a ostrich egg, and it weighs about 5 pounds. Soundscream.
Big egg.
Yeah. I don't need it to be like fully the size of a backpack. I just to that design to the appropriate size.
Okay. Do you want it to have straps to put on your back?
Yeah.
You're doing the Demon Slayer backpack.
Basically, yes. Nezuko's box.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be that big, as long as it's got some way to securely attach it so I don't have to hold it.
I was talking on the browser, not Discord. Yay! So you require enough materials to create the object that you're looking for. It is a clasped object, a clasped chest that is able to hold a round, oblong object.
Well, that's what
Ovoid
the sand is for. I'll pack in sand, put the egg in it, and then cover it in sand. So that's to protect me from the heat, and also to protect it from shifting and cracking.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes. And so
After a while, you open it and all the sand has
glass.
turned to glass.
mhm.
Hey, if that happens, still protecting the egg.
And so you were able to finish this. It takes you all day working on this because you are not a very skilled craftsman. But knowing Arch's, let's just call it for what it is, his autism,
Hello
he
again.
would hyper focus on it,
Welcome back.
and rolls aside, he would just measure twice, measure 3 times, cut once type thing. And he would take his time and get it complete.
Mm-hmm. How much does all of this cost plus the crucible pouring tool?
You're looking at plus the renting the bench needed to perform all this work from the craftsman in question. You are looking at 50 gold pieces total.
Done.
People overestimate how much things cost. There is absolutely no way that ale costs 1 gold piece. Just holy shit, that's an expensive ale.
What if it's a cask?
Cask, you could go for something like that, yeah. But anyways, anybody else doing anything, or you wanting to do your purchasing later? So is there anything you want?
Weren't we
Let-
adding the gold we got from the guards to the party funds?
Mm-hmm.
How much was that?
That was
2.5K.
So why the no?
The no on
No.
what?
Was
I
it,
asked
was
if-
it
hasn't been
added to
added.
the party funds?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I meant as in, should it be added? Because I was about to add it.
Yeah, yes.
You don't need to do
Oh,
anything because
okay.
it's already in there. That's why there was a no.
No, it's not in there. There's 600 gold in there.
Well, I don't know who's keeping track of this stuff. It's not me.
Well, I see 3,100 in there right now.
Did
I
you click the
just
save
added
button?
it now.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. I'll shut up. I just asked what the time was. What do you mean?
What? Okay.
It is a quarter to 11.
Yeah, it's a quarter till.
Thanks.
So
Thank-
we can pick up with the stuff later, or we can do the rally won't take that long.
Let's do the rally.
So
Unless the rally leads directly into a fight at dungeon, because then I think we want to shop first.
I mean, we can always take the shopping between sessions, because then
you
it
could
doesn't
say
take up
you
time now.
shopped and not do the shopping now in the middle of the 15 minutes before the end of the session. Do that later.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yes.
sounds like a good idea. If we can do that, then yes.
That's what he's saying. Yes.
Yes.
So we're going to cover the role-playing stuff, and we'll cover the mechanical stuff later because I don't want to take the time to do it now. So you guys spend your day shopping, gathering the accoutrements that you're looking for, gear that you're looking for. You proceed to the area indicated upon that flyer that was handed to you, the little printed up slip that somebody with a banged up printing press knocked out a few hundred flyers, and you have in your hands one of them. It is
Yes.
indicating you need to go to a kind of a back alley where there's a bunch of businesses. It's an old plaza, kind of an old open area where people used to meet, but as things shifted and the economies and fortunes changed, it's not kind of run down and not well traveled by the average folk of the city. So it's more of the people who are down on their luck and the ne'er-do-wells and seedier underbelly would go to. But you don't feel any danger with you and your friends and your magic cat going to this place. You find your way through the streets, and it's not too hard. After a while, you just hear commotion, voices, yelling, you cheer and clapping, things that go along with, people meeting and having a rally.
Real quick, when we get close enough that Arch would feel that his presence is causing an issue, I will cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. So after, as you guys get close and you're starting to see the backs of the crowds, Arch steps aside into an alleyway and begins casting a quick spell, a few magic words, wave of his hand, and he is gone. But not with the rush of sound and wind that teleportation has. His air takes the place of the guy who just went away. He's just gone. You continue on to the rally. Reginald is keeping watch, watching around as per Arch's constant command to always watch after things. And you take up position in the rear of the crowd. And as you settle into listening to what's going on and catching the gist of what's going on, and I'm not going to proceed to go into any political tirades or near racist rants, but I will summarize it as such, is that it's a lot of questions and affirmations. Like, don't you think it's weird that humans always do this and seem to get away with it? What about, the rights of people who were here all along? The elves, wasn't Corman Thor and all, just going on and on about, making, trying to, do the whole making you think game. Like, shouldn't it be the way it should have been before when we were able to control the wilderness and not squander its gifts and things like that? And talking about how even in their own systems of control inside their own cities, they will even segregate and belittle and just on and on and on, while not necessarily calling out any racial slurs, not calling out any names. It's always just generalizations. Isn't it always weird? Shouldn't we return to these kind of things? And people going, yeah, we should, yeah. And the conversations are happening in the crowd. People are talking. that's the general vibe of what you're involved with right now as you're settled into the back of the crowd. You know, people are starting to gather in behind you as the crowd continues to form.
Hmm.
Is there any action anybody would like to take as they're standing there?
I'm
Hmm.
tempted to claw at people's feet, but probably a bad idea.
It kind of mirrors in a lot of thematic ways, though not in a verbal way. Kind of the Agent Smith rant in the first Matrix, when we talk about humans are a disease thing, how they always spread and take over and use things.
Yeah.
It's kind of that whole thing where they're talking like, you know, wherever humans go, they just take and take and take.
A very
destroying.
valid speech.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of logic behind it and a lot of things, but it's always been centered around that. Shouldn't we return to the way it was before? Which the way it was before is before humans were everywhere.
Yes.
And so it might be ringing a little true to some of your hearts as you've seen some of what he's talking about. I mean, there are 4 non-humans right there in your party. You may have seen instances of this own human drive for control and change of their own environment. So this may strike true to you, like, oh, I don't like what he's saying because it's missing a lot of nuance about what humans really are, but you got a point. So that might be going through your head a little bit. It's up to you. Yes, Nari.
Okay.
And I don't see anyone invisible.
You cast the invisibility? I am so sorry if you said you did that.
It's in the chat.
It's
You see
easy for me
Arch?
to miss stuff because I have Discord
Yep.
up so I can talk.
It's fine.
You see Arch, for one. So he's clearly visible to you. He's doing his darndest to not bump into anybody. He's actually spending an inordinate amount of time of just like, okay, nope, 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 shift a little bit over this way, a little bit this way, nope, nope. That way he remains hidden and he kind of finds his way in between all of you, so he avoids that problem. Otherwise, roll a perception check. Sorry, I said that on a different browser. What is your passive perception? Because I forgot to ask that before I asked you to roll.
Passive is 15.
15. Okay. So your passive is 15. So these are the things you would notice, but you actually asked if you'd notice anything. So that's what the roll was for, and you got a 21. You didn't notice anything until you started like, okay, you're settling in, you're getting the vibe. What's going on? Like, what? Now that I understand, what this rally's about, you're gauging the situation. You're scanning around, looking around, and I'm not really sure what an invisible creature or an ethereal creature, for that matter, since invisibility covers both, how they would appear to somebody who sees invisibility. Do they just see them plain as day, or are they outlined?
The spell says ethereal creatures and objects appear ghostly and translucent.
Again, I'm asking because switching tabs and me trying to talk
That's fair.
with me getting cut off.
Yeah.
So ghostly and translucent.
You see a ghostly and translucent figure above and behind the main rally speaker. So if you were to imagine like the president having a sniper overwatch back behind him or something like that, it would be in that kind of position, up and above and behind him, the main speaker who's doing the rally.
Yeah,
And the shadowy figure appears to be heavily cloaked. You can't really make out any features. Appears humanoid of some kind. 2 legs, 2 arms, head, but cloaked. And
Yeah,
again, this is on
does
towards
it
evening, so it's cover time. So if you spent all day shopping, this is the evening time. So we're settling into the twilight hours.
does it seem protective, like it's on Overwatch, looking out over all of us, or does it seem focused on the speakers?
That kind of question begs my question: is that insight? And from a distance of a few 100 feet, or 100 feet, or even 100 feet, can you tell with an insight check
I
on
would
it?
say inside.
But could you tell a cloaked figure what their intent is as they're standing?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It would be a difficult check, I imagine, but I mean,
Highly difficult.
because you're looking at like, what are they looking at? Are they intensely staring at one person, or just occasionally shifting their view?
Sure.
They're trying to basically judge body language.
Insight then.
And just to be sure, the eyes of night. So even if it's dim light, I act as if it's bright light, up to 300 feet. Insight? Hello?
Yeah, insight, since we're talking about it. Sorry, again, I was on the browser. He seems to be staring at the crowd. In a general sense, you're not able to pick out any particular place he may be staring at. He could be protective, overwatch. Overneath the speaker, he could be scanning the crowd for any particular person. It's uncertain to you.
Just gonna note it to the others that there's a guy up behind, invisible, staring at us, like at the crowd.
Peculiar.
All right.
Anybody
Not
else
sure of
wanting
the
to do,
intent?
anybody wanting to do anything for the duration of this rally? For this rally is a lot of talk and a lot of people cheering and clapping and agreeing, murmuring. You do hear some disagreement. Saying that's not all that bad. It can't be all that. I've known good humans. I'm friends with humans.
Koji's gonna basically cross his arms and just look like a pissed soldier. Like, not pissed at anyone in particular, just generally pissed.
Roll a Constitution saving throw, Koji. You start feeling sick. That look of concertation on your face, that scowl becomes, ooh, did I eat something? Oh no, that's a little higher. Oh, Koji starts coughing.
Koji, are you all right?
Roll anybody not Koji watching Koji cough. Roll a wisdom check. Just wisdom.
Just wisdom?
I was about to say if I could roll medicine, but sure.
Like, none of my 100 knowledges help with this, huh?
No.
This is me exercising in Planescape Torment. Wisdom is your memory, so I'm having you roll your memory as a mechanism to help you recall things from previous sessions you may not remember.
So what do I recall from the previous sessions?
That you really want to eat that
too,
bar.
but Koji is busy coughing. So Patches and Koji, you recall that there was a particular plague doctor with a syringe full of black stuff, and they jabbed it into Koji and shoved all of that black liquid into his chest, and it almost killed him. Because as you described it, he rolled a nat 20 Constitution saving throw to not die instantly. That liquid never exited his body.
Oh no.
So you and Koji realize that might have something to do with it. And he begins coughing.
Am I able to move, or is it completely like a paralyzing cough?
You're
You know the
wanting
ones,
to,
right?
you're wanting to move away from people.
Yeah.
So like you're pushing your way away from the crowd.
Yeah.
I'll
Right.
shadow him.
I'm rushing after him.
What were you saying, Nexus?
Could I do a medicine check to see if I possibly know if a lesser restoration would do the trick?
I'm speaking on a different tab. Oh my god. Yes, I wanted you to roll that with resident check earlier, but I wanted to get the memory check out of the way first. Yes, please roll it, and it could give you the answer you're looking for. So
And
let's see.
I was gonna say, can I help him? I would whisper quietly to him. Do you
Are
think this has
you-
to do with this? I'm invisible still.
Right, but I'm saying like you just like two people. He can see invisibility, so this is very easy for you to do. You can pull yourself aside and have a conversation. Is that kind of what you're planning to do?
Yeah.
Like grab him, like, what do you think this is? Okay.
Do you think this is this? Start throwing out Arcana stuff that try to assist him.
Roll an
And figure-
Arcana check.
Good lord, my rolls are terrible today.
It's above a 10. That will give him advantage. Roll your
Oh,
medicine check
I mean, my
again.
base Arcana is a 10.
Nice.
Yes, but you were trying to slip in an advantage check after he rolled, and I was trying to give it a reason.
Well, I was trying to get it out before he rolled. But yes,
he can't
that's
control
fine.
his fingers.
That's fine. I know I can't. Which is
He's
wonderful.
Lucky Luke.
Which is wonderful. All right. Yes, the less restoration may help, but it's an unknown disease or substance that he was injected with. You really don't know what it can do, so it's hard to say, and it might end up with a high chance of failure with this lack of knowledge.
Would a lesser restoration combined with a dispel magic from me help?
Unknown.
And would dispel magic break my invisibility?
Yes,
but
'cause
at
it's a
this
spell.
time, as you're following, along with Koji,
Did someone just slap the shit out of Cyntari?
no, my headset fell off my head.
Ah.
And so you heard it hit my leg.
Ooh, he slapped
What's
you in
sad
the
is
head.
I started going through in my mind. I was like, Mom wouldn't do it. Dad
Yeah.
might. Brother probably wouldn't.
My brother would be the one to slap me. But as you're following Koji down the streets after him as he's coughing, trying to get away from people, he's doing the thing where he's catching himself on the sides of buildings, corners, and just, Koji, there's blood in your hand as you're coughing into it, and
It's not
maybe
good.
bits of black in there. And as you're contemplating what you're seeing in your hand a few 100 feet away from the rally,
Yeah.
everybody hears this from behind. A thud, slamming, just this impact sound behind you on the cobblestone. Koji Stormscale. And you all hear this grinding sound, this grating sound. And as you turn around to look at him, you see this huge hulking figure. And I'm talking the 2x2 on the battle grid, huge figure in the middle of the street behind you.
No, it's Blanco.
Leaning over in the middle of the street, hunched, carrying a gigantic spear with ragged edges, massive claw in his other hand, a massive claw grinding his claws through the cobblestone, creating occasional sparks as he's grinding ruts into the cobblestone. His breath hissing, steam. No, not steam. It's not cold enough for steam. What is that coming out of his mouth? This thing, this monstrous being. It almost seems like it has a snout, this snarling, toothed face. Wait a second. Who is this? And he snarls out, Koji Stormscale. His ragged clothes drape around him. Roll a wisdom check. See if you remember this guy.
I guess I can't do it because, you know.
No, you can't. You weren't here.
Mm-mm.
7. I'm gonna chalk it off to the whole coughing my lungs out.
Yeah.
Why don't I have that
Anybody else?
vortex spell? Oh, I
Vortex
can
what?
roll it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody who's witnessing this can roll wisdom.
Dang.
Arch and Ella.
Ela.
Arch and Ella. Ella, you know instantly what this is. Arch, it takes you a few, and you both come to the same conclusion. This is there was a particular were-rat, gigantic were-rat bandit that you slaughtered back when you were doing the caravan guard duty. He appears unwell, yet alive, snarling, drooling, looking a little bit dead, and wanting Koji by name.
Oh, I can fix this problem.
He's a revenant. Sure. That's
Oh,
going to be we're gonna go into initiative. You can't just.
I was gonna say I have a cool thing I want to do.
What's that?
He's
Not everybody all
approaching.
at once.
He's approaching, saying the name right. Coach is looking really ragged.
What it is he's hunched over and he's calling out your name as he's grinding into it. As he's prepared to attack. We're about to roll initiative. Essentially.
Coach is gonna just wipe the blood from his face as he takes out a newly bought shield, which would be in the shopping section, and Hope's Edge before he goes. Well, I'm here. Come fucking get it. As he's barely standing.
And
He's
that's
a
where we'll end
blue
our
dragon.
session
He's
with
prideful.
That's where we'll end as you're confronted with a undead revenant were-rat who has hunted you down, and there appears to be a very energetic, excitable wizard preparing some magical energies to unleash. So we'll pick up next time, guys, with this session of Fortune and Glory, where we resolve what happens to Renan, the undead revenant were-rat. You guys have a good one.
Yay!
Yay!